Welcome to the Monmouth County Market Update for the first quarter of 2025. Today we're going to cover a whole host of different topics and dive into what's really changing our local landscape when it comes to real estate. But before we get into it, if it is your first time to the channel, my name is Steve McCutcheon and I'm a realtor at Berkshire Hathaway. And on the Live in Central New Jersey channel, we cover everything related to the Central Jersey real estate market. So if you're going to be the first one to know what's going on in either Monmouth or Ocean County real estate, feel free to click the bell, hit the subscribe button. Let's get this video started. Getting right into it, let's talk some prices. So the median sales price for Monmouth County right now is $670,000. This is up 5.5% from this time last year, which was around $635,000. So a pretty significant jump. We're talking $35,000. That's not a no chump change, especially in this market environment that we have going on here. If you look across the board nationally for the U.S., it's around $425,000. So right there, Monmouth County, well above that average. But also you have to take into account of different areas all across the U.S., right? So if you're looking at California or Monmouth County, somewhere in the Northeast over here, they're typically going to be more expensive. If you go down south or into the Midwest, they might be a little cheaper. But so overall, take that into account, $425,000. Monmouth County has also started the year red hot for sales. Now, if you're unfamiliar, back in 2024, we actually had our lowest existing home sales market across the entire country for the last 30 years. You couple that with a high interest rate environment and also a election year, typically not going to fare too well in that. So only up from here, it seems. Monmouth County has started off 13.5% better this year than it did last year, coming in at 1,430 sales versus 1,260 sales. That's a pretty significant jump. Hopefully, it's a sign of things to come and things to start to open up a little bit. Usually, we also see a pretty big increase the year after an election year. So being that 2024, we had the presidential race, typically the year after, we start to see some things open up a little bit when there's a little bit more certainty on who's going to be running in office, which administration is there. And so far, we are starting to see that. But with all these sales happening, where's our inventory stacking up here for Monmouth County? Well, right now we have 2 months worth of active listings. So if we didn't have a single new listing come onto the market, we at least would be able to survive 2 more months worth. This is not the lowest that we've seen. So back in February of this year, we actually were down to 1.85, which is pretty low. But real estate is also going to be cyclical. So this is very common in our industry, meaning the wintertime we're going to have not that much inventory versus in the summertime we're going to have our most. And that holds true to last year in 2024, whereas August saw 3 months worth of inventory, and that was our peak for that year. That is still a pretty heavy seller's market, though. So while it is something to get excited about, watching the listings go up, it doesn't mean that we are out of the thick of it by any means. So anything less than 6 months is going to be considered a seller's market. And obviously, the closer or the lower you go, the hotter the seller's market, the more power and negotiation they have. So right now, we're sitting at pretty much exactly 2, which is a hot seller's market, but at the same time, higher than what the low was. And for days on market, we're looking at 23 right now, which means from when a house is first listed to when it goes under contract, that's how long it's going to be taking, 23 days. So about a little over 3 weeks. That doesn't mean an offer isn't accepted beforehand and it's just going through an attorney review period. I would actually say most good listings right now that are properly priced, relatively updated, they're probably still coming within the first weekend. You're going to have multiple offers on it. We are still in that type of market here in New Jersey. Now, that might depend on your price range a little bit. It might not be dramatically different. You're not going to be sitting there going 10, 15 offers. It might be somewhere in that 3 to 5 range. That's where we're commonly seeing it. I know recently I had an offer accepted in the 800 range for a buyer of mine, and we beat out 2 other offers. We were sitting at 3. So we are seeing competition, but it's not dramatic. It's not anywhere near those 2020 levels, let's just say. Moving on to mortgage rates, the 30-year fix is sitting roughly about 6.75 or 6.75% right now. This is probably close to a month low. They have a little bit of a spike recently, but they haven't gone above 7 since about mid-February. So we're looking at about a month and a half to 2 months full of just a 6 in front with the interest rates and or mortgage rates, and that's really good for our market. I think that's why we probably also see an increase in the sales recently. I think a lot of buyers were probably sitting on the sidelines when they were in the 8s and 7s, and then they went to see the 6 in front. It looks a lot better. But when you go from 3 to 7, that looks a lot worse at the same time. So it's kind of all about perception and things and how everything's been going recently. So we have seen a little bit of an increase in new mortgage applications. Not a dramatic one, but at least an increase, which means that buyers are starting to get it a little bit more comfortable of where these monthly payments are coming in at. The Federal Reserve also signaled to us what's going on in this March meeting. So for 2 straight now, the January and the March meeting, they left rates unchanged, meaning they haven't gone up or down. Usually this means things are starting to stabilize a little bit. We are coming from a high interest rate environment where they're trying to contract the economy to now just slowly letting things kind of move along a little bit. So in essence, they don't feel it's confident enough yet to just start dropping rates, because honestly, if they did, I think Armageddon would happen again and they'd shoot right back up, or just the rates would shoot back up, but also the prices would just go skyrocket, especially here in New Jersey. So I think they're handling it pretty well right now. Mortgage rates don't follow the Federal Reserve rate directly, but most times they kind of coincide with what's going on within the market. So as rates will start to come down a little bit, buyers' affordability goes up, meaning you can afford more of a house. So in certain aspects, if you're maybe a first-time home buyer, you're going from a 350 budget up to maybe a 375 or 400. That could be a massive jump for some people. Maybe looking to get it instead of a 2-bedroom condo or townhome, they're going into a 3-bed, and that could be a big difference between how long you stay in the home and things along those lines. So overall, the Federal Reserve seems to be at least saying that everything's going pretty well right now, economy-wise, inflation-wise, and they are also signaling for rate cuts throughout the rest of this year, which is a big sign for buyers. And after throwing all those statistics at you really quick, where do I see, I guess, our current market going here in like the Monmouth County area, New Jersey, Ocean County, what we pretty much cover in the Central Jersey area? Overall, prices are probably going to go up. I don't see that going down anytime soon. I don't think they're going to see massive spikes unless the rates drop dramatically, which doesn't seem likely at this point in time. We will start to see inventory rise as we head into throughout our spring and heading into our summer market, and buyers will also increase during that time frame. Depending on where that kind of shifts, that power balance is where we'll see prices start to go to. If we have more buyers than we do inventory, obviously prices are going to have to continue to rise. That's just the nature of the beast that we've been seeing over the last 5 years. If inventory at least matches our buyer demand, that's massive because we won't see so much appreciation and affordability going out the window for a lot of people here. A single family home, depending on where you're looking in Monmouth County, let's just say Freehold, Manalapan, Marlboro, for instance, like that really center or a little bit more western, but closer to the Route 9 border where like a lot of people like to live for commuting into the city. They're like about $650 as an entry price, and even at that price point, they really have to be fixed up a little bit. You're probably talking $700 to $750 for a really nice move-in ready home. Now, not all parts of Monmouth County are going to be similar to that. If you go a little bit farther up north into like that Middletown, Hazlitt area, Aberdeen might be a little bit cheaper over there, but still, it's getting really tough for first-time borrowers here in New Jersey, especially that Monmouth County area. To summarize it all, Monmouth County's real estate market is resilient and showing some growth. We are seeing more sales than we did last year, which is a promising side heading into the rest of 2025, especially coming off our lowest sales or existing home sales of the last 30 years in 2024. So things are looking promising. And if you are looking to move to the area, buying or selling, feel free to reach out. All my contact information is down low in the comments and description. So whether you're 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, even a year out, doesn't matter to me. Let's just get you on the right path towards your real estate goals. And if you want to move to a different part of the Central Jersey area, check out the 2 videos popping up and hopefully help out a bit too. Have a great day.